What's up, everybody? Welcome into round one reloaded. Oh, there is an echo there. There you go, echo's now gone. Welcome into round one reloaded. Australia is a great track when it works. But last week, and I think in general, there was a bug with it, so we've had to reschedule our round one onto the Belgium track today. How's it going, Stu? How's it going? Yeah, we had a few technical difficulties, and there's also a child in my arms as we do comms today. But here we go into round one, reloaded. We're at Belgium. Fantastic track. Always throws up some surprises. And we are now awaiting the start of qualification in about 14 seconds. Hope everyone's having a good evening. Welcome in Torio. Good luck in your race today. And welcome in Stu. Shame you can't be here today. I'm sure you're working very hard, as it seems already. But here we are then. It looks pretty dry. A bit overcast though, so there could be some rain in this session. I'm sure some of our people down on the pit wall will let us know in a moment's time what the weather is saying for the race and for qualifying as well. To recap them, whilst we do wait, here is your Season 7 lineup. Red Bull team with Delta Shadow and CRP, both drivers racing today. Got Lordi and Torio in the Ferrari, just Torio racing today. Trappy for the Mercedes is our only driver today as well. Stu is in the chat. Adam, a late joiner in the Alpine, currently without a teammate, although there are two drivers who are looking potentially for a seat. A strong McLaren team with both drivers here today, of Ash and the Hammer 94. Got Matty Clem and Zach, or FPS Tricks in the Alfa Romeo, again, both drivers here today. NFC and Kizza, again, a double lineup for this evening's race in the Aston Martin. We've got Ollie representing the Haas team today with Baggy AWOL. We've got Raven and Kai in the Alpha Tauri, and Metal Saviour and Solo in the Williams car. As our first car begins leaving the pit lane, it looks like a Ferrari. Although it looks like there's also a McLaren out already, which is interesting. Let's jump on board. I'm pretty sure that's a Ferrari, so yeah, there we go. It's Torio who has dived out of the pit lane. I don't think he's first, so we might have missed McLaren leaving, yep. The Hammer 94 in an early lapping. Now, my opinion, looking at this now, it looks like it's going to be wet weather towards the end of qualifying because a lot of our drivers are jumping out very early. And I would say it's going to be a wet race, and maybe people were deciding on what kind of setup to run with. Because usually people dive out immediately on that 18-second mark. Oh, sorry, 18-minute mark. But look a little bit longer. We'll follow the Hammer 94, the first car on the track, around for his first lap. Oh, Zach says it's all dry, okay. Okay, no rain for quali or race, so maybe people just tweaking those setups then. But it is interesting, we've got a lot of cars out very early here. Maybe drivers then just opting to get as many qualifying runs in on the soft tyre rather than saving them for the race. Soft tyre is not the greatest around Belgium.
I don't know that.
Oh, Alexa decided to speak to me. She doesn't know Belgium, apparently. As the Hammer 94 is about to hit the bus stop chicane before starting his first lap. And we have got yellow flags behind. Tennessee Bandit, appreciate the follow, appreciate you dropping in today. Apologies, the little one has just decided to start screaming at me. Okay, there we go then. Silenced him. Silenced him. Let's have a look then. The Hammer 94 coming through sector 2. Just down board for his full lap. Why not? Why not? It's early days. Oh my god, it's a good thing we did down board with him. Because he's taken out the barriers. Well done, Jack. Taking out all the timing boards there. Slipping and sliding as he was. The next car, I believe, is it a Williams of Solo that was closely following there? He's actually gone red around that lap. So let's jump on board with the Ferrari of Torrio, who will be our first driver to set a proper lap in this qualifying session. We've got a yellow flag in sector 3 for an Aston Martin. That could be Kizza, who's been on the pop this evening. Torrio sets the fastest sector 2. Unsurprising, as one driver's got a red flag. Sorry, yeah, red flag, I suppose it's the right term. And the other driver has got no front wing. Invalid lap's the right term, not a red flag. And Torrio, see what he's going to set. He got a yellow flag again for the Red Bull of Delta Shadow, I think. And Torrio sets a 144. Right, next across the line, we're going to have a McLaren of Ash. No, okay, we're not, because it's the other McLaren. So let's come on board with the Aston Martin of Kizza, who will be our second person to set a time today. Zach is retired from the session. Kizza goes with a 144.8. Zach is retired from the session. I'm not sure where he is on track. Oh, he's on. Is that El Rouge? And El Rouge retirement we've just seen there? I think that is where he was. As Ash takes provisional pole position with a 142. And let's jump on board with, we've got two Mercedes that look like they're steaming. HL Trappy would be one of those Mercedes. Let's see how he does through the bus stop chicane. Across the finish line for 147.2. The mayor just a side to factored on intermediate, so that explains everything. That explains everything. I'm not sure what that plan is there. Maybe he hasn't had enough practice. Maybe he's just gone out there to give a tow to his teammate. I'm not too sure though, he's behind his teammates. That'd be strange if he was doing that. Okay, who else have we got crossing the line? We've got a Red Bull and an Aston Martin that look like they're about to cross. So let's see where LFC goes in. Oh, goes into the pit actually after an invalid lap. Okay, let's see. Let's jump on board with. Is it Solo in the Williams? He's gone invalid again. Lots of invalidated laps here today. Who else have we got? We've got CRP a bit further back. We've got the Hammer on an out lap. Delta Shadow looks like he's on our hot lap here. The Aston Martin of Kizza, I believe, is coming into the pit. So let's jump on board with it's a Red Bull of Chris, I believe, will be our next car across the line. Warm my tyres up, tap the grass, and lost control into the barriers. Ouch. Do not recommend that. Do not recommend. There we go. You can spectate with me then for the remainder of the qualifying session. CRP Brummy. Oh god, I can't speak today. Hits the bus stop chicane. Let's try and slow it down a little bit, I think. Brummy does not improve on his time. Next across the line, looks like it's going to be the Mercedes of OMG. No, okay, it's going to be the Mercedes of HDL. He's jumped into the pit. What we got? We've got a Haas that hasn't set a time yet. We've got Ollie. Let's see what Ollie's up to. A 136 so far. This is one of the most important corners on the track. If you get it right, you get loads of time. If you get it wrong, well, you just lose. You just lose. Ollie puts in a 145. The grid is pretty split at the moment between the top and the bottom. The cars that have put times in so far. Got the Hammer on an out lap. We've got, I believe, is that Torrio? Oh, who's that on the grass? That was Shadow. The strange place to be on the turf there as he starts bringing it back around to the pit lane. Not sure if maybe he's picked up a little bit of damage. Yeah, very interesting place where he's gone off there. As Solo is coming across the line to say his first time of a 143.5. So a couple of invalidated laps there for Solo, but he has managed to get a fairly decent time on the board. Who we got here? Chris should be coming into the pits, I believe. Ollie will be coming into the pits. We've got an Aston Martin of LFC on an outlap. So our only real lap at the moment is the Hammer 94, so we'll stick on board with him. The Hammer 94 getting out at the right time, I think. He was the first one out. He's now out while nobody else is doing our hot lap. So really soaking it up for the cameras today. Little snap there as he come off the curb. Now going down the downhill stretch. Actually, I haven't got my own track map open on the side. I'm an absolute amateur. Let me just quickly grab that up because I'm awful at knowing what corner everybody is on. And I'm not afraid to admit it. There we go, that'll do. Lovely. Lovely stuff. We've got yellow flags in sector 3. Getting out of the way. I think yet Williams of Solo just getting out of the way of the Hammer 94 and rejoining nice and safely. Once Jack gets across the line, we'll be jumping on board with LFC, who's just started his hot lap. Not yet set a time. A little bit of a real lock up there from the Hammer 94, it looked like. On the way through. It looks like it slowed right down. No, maybe not. P4 is for the Hammer 94. Right, let's jump on board with LFC, who is on an invalid lap and slow right down to allow everybody else through. So not very exciting. Not very exciting. So who's leading this kind of outlap surge then? Let's just have a quick whiz through. In fact, I'm interested to stay on board with this little kind of section here. We've got Delta Shadow. We've got a few other cars that have all decided to come out at the same time. So let's just keep an eye on this here. Okay, so who we got in this mixer? We've got a McLaren of, I'd say it's Ash. Yeah, I think it's Ash on an outlap. We've got the Red Bull of Delta Shadow, the Aston Martin of LFC because he let them through, and a bit further back we've got a Mercedes, and that belongs to OMG. I'm not sure if I'm meant to say it's sure. It's UR. It's UR. I'm not sure. Yeah, we'll stick on board with Delta Shadow then. We saw him on the grass a little bit earlier. He might have a bit of a toe just ahead of him. Bit of a toe from the McLaren. Although Ash seems to have put some distance between the two, so maybe not. LFC's gone into the pit, so we didn't have enough fuel for a second run there. He'll be wanting to do a lot better than that in his first race. I'll tell you that much after the end of season 6 for himself being quite a disappointing one. Adam goes top of the 142.2. Let's actually, I didn't even see Adam got on track. He's really snuck out there. But let's jump on board with Ashton and see if he's got an answer for that time. HDL Trappy as well could have an answer for that time. He's got some real tyres on. It's Sura. Okay, Zach. Okay, sorry. I'll try and keep my my teeth in my mouth, and I'll try and pronounce that one as we go through. Loving the grief you're giving Zach in the chat as well. By the way, loving that grief. But let's see then. Ash on what looks to be a fairly decent lap. Although maybe not. No, he's just backed out, isn't he there, Ash? Yep, he's just backed out. So not able to get a reply on this particular lap. Let's jump on board with Delta Shadow again though, because he could be a bit nippy actually. And he's looking good here. He still hasn't set a time, but he's looking like maybe 44, 43, 42 puts himself P4. Knocked Solo and the Hammer down a spot there. Lovely, lovely. We've then got a Mercedes coming in, which I believe belonged to Sura. Yes, it did. Let's see how he finishes off his lap here. His first, I think his first day on F1, so jumping straight into the Bunker League. We are very beginner friendly, and putting in a 156 there, so quite a bit off the pace, but to be expected. It looks like he might not ruin any assist as well, which is massive. His rear seems to be sliding quite a lot anyway. Anyway, what we've got here, Williams going into the pit. We've got Ollie in the Haas again, preparing his way through on an outlap. Hot laps, HDL Trappy I think will be coming towards the end of the hot lap here. We'll jump on board, or is he actually just finished one? He may have just finished one actually. I just noticed 142.3 time that he's stuck in there. Yeah, he's gone into the pit. So Ollie on an outlap will be our only one, although things are about to heat up, I'm sure. As I know a lot of drivers are going to be just leaving the pit lane. Metal Saviour has just managed to join as well. So Metal Saviour, who was Saviour racing for again this season? Is it Williams? Yeah, Metal Saviour in the Williams has managed to get in the lobby, ready to go. And here we go, a lot of drivers now coming out for their outlap here. Metal Saviour's got just about enough time if he gets hit up on extremely quickly. I'm not sure what's put him in P12 though, it's an interesting one. I suppose there are a few drivers who have not yet stuck a time in. LFC really needs a good time here. He's probably going to be trying to get that championship, that driver and constructor championship this season after missing out last season. We'll be hopeful at least, so let's see if he can get himself a nice time in today. You know, at least if he's up in there in P5, P6, he can really challenge the leaders. Race pace over qualifying pace potentially, but he's got to get a time in to start with. Motor's struggling to do that. But we'll stay on board, before catching up with everybody else who's going to be on their proper laps very soon. Matty Clem coming out of the pit for the first time. Metal Saviour will now, I believe, have missed the window to leave the pit lane. So he'll be going in completely dry for the first lap of this race. How's it going, James? Welcome in, welcome in. I hope you're good. I hope you had a good week. And I hope you're looking forward to your weekend as well. What can LFC do here? A P5. That's commendable. That's commendable. That's something to work with in the race at least. Better than not putting a lap in at all. I'm just trying to work out now who is on a hot lap. And that's a very weird place to stop there from the Aston Martin. But the Williams driver has just about avoided it. Okay, as our drivers then come around for their final couple of laps, let's have a look what we are looking at here. Adam is starting his first one, or his final one even. Ash is quite a way through. We'll stick on board with Ash, I think, to start off with. The other drivers finishing off now, so Kizza in P9, Brummy in P11. Matty Clem puts in a 144 to go P8. Really, I should be looking at the driver a little bit further down, shouldn't I? Should have a look at Solar. Yep, okay, so Solar will be next across the line, looking pretty decent actually. Is he up on his time? I'm not too sure. We'll find out in a moment. Yes, he is, and goes P4. Next across the line will be the McLaren, and that'll be of the Hammer 94. Can he improve? He's 4 attempts down on his time. So that is an improvement, and it will give him some place, I think. 1 place up to P6. And his McLaren teammate, Hayao Mash, will be next across the line. Oh no, next into the pits. So we jump down to the Aston Martin of LFC, who's invalidated his lap and is just getting out of the way of the drivers. Where to now? Alpine of Adam, our current pole sitter. He's currently up on his time, so not looking to improve on his lap. Unless he can find something magic for the final 2 corners. And he doesn't, go straight into pit. Then we have Delta Shadow in next across the line, who is 5 tenths down on his time, so a massive improvement there. Probably gonna no, he's gonna jump up. He's gonna jump up if he can continue. And goes to P2, knocking HDL Trappy off the front row of the grid. Next across the line might be HDL Trappy, who goes P1. So there we go. I'm talking nonsense. HDL Trappy taking P1 with 141.9, Adam with 142.2, Delta with 142.2 as well. As the other have the Haas of Ollie, who's gone into the pit lane. And it looks like that is all she wrote. We just got checkered flagged cars driving around at the moment on their in-laps. And we will watch LFC slowly get wheeled into the pit lane. And now we'll watch Ollie slowly get wheeled into the pit lane. So that then is your qualifying grid. HDL Trappy stealing P1 right at the very end there. After Delta Shadow had actually put in a better time than him. And knocked him off the front row. He gets himself back on there. So it's HDL Traffic 141.96, Adam with 142.2, Delta with 142.2, Ash with 142.4, got Solo with 142.6, the Hammer 94 then, 2-second gap between P5 and P6 it looks like. I've got that right? Not quite a 2-second gap. My timing sheet hasn't updated yet with the fastest lap for the Hammer 94. There it is. In P7 got LFC, P8 Matty Clem, P9 Torio, P10 Kizza, P11 Ollie, P12 Chris, P13 OMG Itsura in his first league race on his first day in F1. Metal Saviour and Zach not putting in time. Metal Saviour joined the lobby a little bit late, and Zach who DNF'd on his first outlap. So we sit and we wait, and as we usually do, let's have a look forward towards next week, where we'll be heading to Barcelona, which is where we should have been this week, but round 1 was delayed, as we all know. Ollie's saying let's go. Decent qualifying session for you there, Ollie. So definitely got a good advantage when it comes to that qualifying and that starting position. So I'm talking absolute nonsense, so I'm being sidetracked a little bit. So here the drivers are sat on the grid awaiting that flag to be dropped. There's no formation lap. We'll be going straight into races. So for some drivers that's going to be a bit of a hindrance potentially, but GG everyone on the qualifying session. I think it's pretty clean, pretty tidy. Just Zach who decided to take himself out. Here we go then. Let's jump on board with Solo. Let's have a look at... In fact, no. The Hammer 94 is always entertaining to watch off the rip. Let's see how his start goes here. Into turn 1. A lot of drivers making some late manoeuvres there. But it looks somewhat clean. We've got no cars that have spun around here. So that's a good start. Okay, let's go back to the front of the grid as we go into El Rouge, or just before El Rouge. Again, it's looking pretty good. Oh, we've got a yellow flag here and a Hammer 94. I knew I should have stayed on board with him because he's taken a tumble down at El Rouge. Looks like the only person who has done so. Hasn't lost too much time here, if you can keep going. We've got a good battle here between Delta Shadow and Hey, I'm Ash. And a few cars just behind there going off track as well. You can see, so Ash looking to make an early move on Delta. If you haven't yet looked at the tyre strategy so far, I think most people are running the medium. Would usually be considered the one-stop strategy, I think, medium to hard. Soft tyres very rarely used. They don't go very far at all, as Torio looks like he's getting past Kizza there. A bit of a battle going on towards the back end of the grid as Ollie pulled alongside LFC. Actually makes a move on LFC there. Oh, and there's a bit of contact between LFC and Ollie there as Kizza has just DNF'd. I will await the toxicity in the chat to come through, but that does take us into a safety car. So hold our horses, slow it down. I didn't actually catch where Kizza went off there, unfortunately. We don't need that. Let's have a look at everyone's tyres to start off with, shall we? Okay, so Trappy on the softs. You probably would have been hoping to get a little bit further on them softs before a potential safety car to make that strategy work. Same as Torio and LFC. The Hammer 94 on the hard tyres played into his hands nicely. Ollie, I believe, has got some damage, and possibly LFC as well, who both jumped into the pit lane here after a little bit of contact, right as Kizza retired as well. I don't think Kizza was behind them, or directly behind them at least. So here we go, nice and slow, one lap in. This could play into the Hammer 94's hands in the long run. Those hard tyres, you can really wear them for 2, potentially 3 safety cars, if he so chooses to. Whereas the mediums and the softs, although they're not losing too, got to be close there from Trapper, although they're not losing too much tyre tread or tyre grip under the safety car, they will be losing a little bit, particularly the soft tyres. They might start to really die off after this restart, so you might see an early box for Trappy, an early box for Torio. Again, you can take them longer, but as a race tyre, they're probably not going to be as efficient as the mediums after the safety car. Bunker without a safety car isn't a bunker. You know it, Don, you know it. Oh, Kizza looks like he's taking himself out there. So he said he hit the curb and lost control and ended up in a wall. So that's unfortunate. Let's have a look at positions gained and positions lost whilst we are here. So tyres looked at, got no penalties so far, which is good. You've got Matty Clem up 2 places, Zach up 8 places from being at the bottom of the pack, retiring during the qualifying session. We've got Brummy up 4 places. We've got Shura up 3 places in his first race, so that's, regardless of how he's got there, it's a good place to be. Metal Save up 3 places as well, having not put a time in during the qualifying session. Dom, being as though you're in the chat, hope you are doing well, buddy. We look forward to seeing you on track as soon as you feel happy to do so. It'd be weird not having you and being able to commentate on you this season, but I appreciate you want to take some time out from racing, which is absolutely understandable. There we go. Look how nice that is. Got a new pair of blue filter glasses, and I've just put them on, and they are comfortable as anything. Lovely jubbly. Okay, we don't need to see position changes now. Let's take that back. I believe this will be our final lap under the safety cars. LFC jumps into the box again. I'm not too sure why he's done that. He's getting a wing change again. Potentially he didn't get his wing change the first time, maybe. But he's now jumped onto a fresher set of mediums. And he's worn in now another set of mediums. So again, that could help him later on in the race. It could also hinder him, depending on when he decides to use those medium tyres. Yeah, I can imagine, Dom, I can imagine. So it's absolutely fine with us. Obviously, we can't force people to race it anyway. We wouldn't want to force people to race anyway. But there will always be a seat available for you. Unless there isn't a seat available for you. As LFC joins the back of the pack. Just towards the end of Sector 2. Who are we going on board with for the restart then, kids? One of the top 6. We'll go for one of the top 6. Got Trappy. We won't be on board with the leader. We're looking at Adam, Delta, Ash, Solo, or Clem. Who are we thinking about going on board with? The Alfa Romeos at the moment looking very, very strong. Alfa Romeo always seems to be a strong team in our division or in our league. Matty Clem there again for I think the second or maybe even the third season in a row. Joined this time by Zach. You know, I'm thinking actually I might jump on board with Ash because Ash and Delta before this safety car were having a massive battle. And I feel like Ash might get the jump on Delta potentially, and the safety car is going to come in. Let's make sure everyone slows themselves down appropriately and we don't have any more yellow flags. It looks like people are slowing down appropriately. Although LFC will be a fantastic person to sit on board with, all those towards the back of the pack. So we will try and get to LFC. I'm sure he's going to make up some positions here. The Howard 94 as well, a little bit out of position from that early incident. Safety car really has saved his race this early on. Yeah, let's jump on board with Ashton as we prepare to start again. And Ash just got a severe collision with Delta Shadow. Can somebody drop a clip on that one for me, please, just in case we need it? Because we were on board, there was a bit of contact, but it was nowhere near severe. And let's see what happens here as we go into turn 1 then. Looking nice and tight. A lot of space left between a lot of our drivers. Metal Saviour, though, looking very close to Thura. Goes a bit wide, gets himself on a curb. Gets himself out of the way as well there nicely. The Hammer 94 up a position. Got a yellow flag again. I believe that will just be for Metal Saviour going off the track and rejoining. But again, Ash is extremely close to Delta Shadow and makes the move. He just missed the move there. Can it stick? It can stick. Adam and Trappy as well. His front four are really going at it. I think, although there might be things going on a bit further down the grid, I think we might have to stick here for the time being. Look at these 4 racers. 5 as well. Solo not too far behind. Absolutely going for it. Ash gets himself another time penalty there. I think he maybe just jump on board with Solo and we just maybe watch here from his view of what is going on. A yellow flag in sector 2. That's made Clem falling down the grid a little bit. I'm not too sure what's happened there. It's just a caution at the moment. No safety car has been deployed as of yet. It's Matty Clem falls to the very bottom of the grid. Let's just have a quick check here on the status of Matty Clem. Front wing looks good. I'm suspecting of maybe just getting out of the way of the other drivers as opposed to having damage, but Solo's got back a little bit. So we'll jump on board with Delta Shadow here. And we're looking for that move all over the track. He is on Ash there. Nice and aggressive from Delta. Nice and clean as well, but Solo nearly steals the position there on the inside. And Delta Shadow and Ash are going to go for this again through turn 1. That's some actually fantastic driving there. He's right on the edge with Delta Shadow and Ash jostling for that position as Torio jumps into the pit there. Torio was on the soft tyres earlier on today. Delta Shadow now looking to get, I don't think we've got DRS activated just yet, but definitely burns DRS here. A battle of straight line speed between these two. Adam as well looks to be making an overtake on Trappy. Can he make it stick? Adam is ahead in the Alpine, and Trap has to fall behind, and Ash stays ahead of Delta Shadow. Trappy and Adam absolutely going for it here. And Adam falls down a position again. Oh, gone way too low there. These front four are having an absolutely fantastic time. At the moment, just battling in pairs. Solo is lurking, awaiting an opportunity as well. But sticking so close to each other. When the DRS opens up, this is going to be overtake city. As Solo now getting right on the back of Delta Shadow. And Delta Shadow may, of course, have a little bit of an issue here, because he's now fallen out of that DRS range. Whether he can catch back up before the next lap, we'll have to wait and see. The activation point for the top of our Rouge is along, well, the start of our Rouge, the bottom of our Rouge, so we have to do something good, bring the stop. There's Ash now right on the back of the leading two. We've got a three-way battle here for the lead on lap 5. As the DRS opens up, that's Ash with the fastest lap as well, so definitely deploying some ERS there to make sure he's in contention at this point. Let's see what's going to happen here. We're going to jump on board with Adam, who's in the middle of these two. See what happens here. All drivers taking a beautiful line. Adam and Ash have both made up some time here. I'm going to have to jump on board here. Oh my god, maybe not, as it's a double overtake on Trappy. So Trappy losing 2 corners there. And he's been sealed off by Adam. But looking impatient, he wants that first place back. These three are putting on an absolute show here early on in this race. Trappy making a bit too much curve there, I think. And the drivers start to level out. Now, as much as I'm loving this battle at the top, I think we do just have to go and show some love to some of our other drivers. Got Delta Shadow here, who's been overtaken now by Solo on a DRS straight, but still looking to hunt. LSC moving up to P7, Jack in P8, Ollie in P9, who's chasing down the Hammer 94 and staying within good range at the moment. Our other drivers are a little bit split after a couple of incidents have happened. So let's jump back up with our top 5 here, who now are all within a DRS train following Adam, as Delta is looking to make a bit of a move on Solo. So all drivers in the top 5, other than Adam, will have DRS. Let's jump on board. Let's jump on board with Trappy and see what he can do here. Because Adam will not have DRS, although he's got a fantastic start there down the pit straight. But can he keep that momentum going with a much more dangerous DRS straight? Absolute show being put on here by these 3 drivers in particular, but even the top 5, it's an absolute slogfest here. And Adam can't be caught, must have plenty of ERS left in the tank to defend, but the problem is eventually he'll burn that ERS and he won't be able to pull away. Delta Shadow is still chasing Solo, maybe just saving his ERS a little bit. Hopefully not burning DRS in this position. It looks like Solo is also dropping away from the top 3 on this particular lap. If you have a look down here at CRP Brummy in the Red Bull, getting a little bit closer to Ollie, I believe. But Ollie's fallen back from the Hammer 94. Delta Shadow now gets a 3-second time penalty. Can't take my eyes away from this action here. These top 3, an absolute show. You can see Matty Clem's getting close to Metal Savior, so that's what we're going to keep an eye on. And we've got a yellow flag for the Hammer 94, who is spinning around in circles and has managed to. He's got no wing damage. It looks like. Oh, I mean, missed an overtake here from Ash on HDL. HDL Trappy is coming back at him. It looks like he just backed out here through turn 1, being nice and smart here, waiting for another opportunity to make that overtake rather than diving in. And the hammer knife was a 3-second time penalty there. Now they can Adam hold on again. With limited DRS, I would have thought by now. Ash looks to the inside. Gets the move done and cuts right across the racing line there to ensure he makes that move stick. It was nice and early, well before the braking zone. A fantastic move there from Ash on Adam, and nice and clean there from both drivers as Adam looks down the inside but decides against it. Solo still in the background, as is Delta Shadow of this battle. Waiting for any kind of slip up so they can swallow a potential podium here. Be a little bit harder for Delta Shadow, of course, with that 3-second penalty. And as for Ash, currently got an 8-second time penalty due to multiple infringements during the race. Matty Clemo missed the move, unfortunately, there of Matty Clemo on Metal Saviour. However, Torrio is right on the backside of Metal Saviour as well. It's hard because the overtaking points are mainly in Sector 1. And all the drivers are going through Sector 1 at quite a similar time. So the other problem is, down here, Torrio might not make that move first time. Whereas up at the top end here, we know there's going to be a move made at some point during these DRS straights. As Delta Shadow, I thought it went into the wall then, but it's actually gone into the pits there. So what was Delta Shadow actually on? Let's just have a quick look here at the tyre. He was on mediums, so potentially an early pit stop here for hards. Looking for an undercut, maybe realising that he hasn't got the out and out pace on track, so looking for an undercut here. Or a potential 2-stop strategy. Double mediums and a soft, maybe. We will find out. We will find out soon. And Adam looking for a reply on Ash this lap. Does exactly the same thing. Cuts off the line nice and early. As soon as that move's done, as soon as his car is in front of Ash's car, it's straight across into the braking zone. And he keeps that position in P1. Trappy now just waiting, I think, for a little mistake. Maybe charge that ERS. If you have a look on board, he's got 50% ERS. Ash has been burning some. Adam actually got 50% ERS as well. So, again, the battle of ERS is even playing into Adam's favour at the moment. Solo slowly dripping back from the front three there. Stu says Jack Spin, never heard of. No, come on now. This has been a fantastic battle so far, Stu. If you haven't been here for the entire time, those front three have been absolutely slogging it out. As Delta Shadow gets a move on Ollie. I wonder if Ollie will have an answer here. I think Delta Shadow has got the more pace. He's come back out on the mediums. So potentially a 2-stop strategy for Delta Shadow today. So that might be an interesting one to keep an eye on here. 11 seconds away from LFC. LFC has boxed as well, 4 mediums. And Torrio is still behind Matty Clem. Again, he didn't make a move there when we thought he might have done earlier on today. So can Adam defend again down our Rouge. I feel like I was watching the same drivers on the same bit of track over and over and over again. But it's entertaining because here comes Ash. He's nearly made the move before the activation point. So this, I'm sure, will be Ash's position. Yes, it is. Adam maybe is being smart here and really not using any ERS and just allowing the positions to flow by. HDL Trap is still struggling to make any kind of impact on these two. It's just a DRS overtake lap on lap on lap on lap on lap. But I want to jump onto LFC here because he's getting closer and closer to FPS tricks. And I wonder if there could be a move coming here sometime soon. I believe, was Zach also on the soft tyres to start with? No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't. Okay. But Trappy's still running the soft tyres. I wonder when he's going to jump into the pit. That's maybe something now that's limiting his performance, and maybe why he can't get an overtake complete is that he's got these soft tyres that are 9 laps old. He's just trying to hang in there, just trying to keep DRS, stay with these two drivers up top. Potentially for a longer stint. I mean, he's nearly done 50% race distance on the soft tyre. So really showing his quality there. Tyre preservation. Managing to go toe-to-toe still with these two drivers. Assuring it's a 3-second time penalty. Okay, so we've got no overtakes as of yet. LFC now makes a move on Zach. Oh, no, it doesn't. Zach goes into the pit. We've got Matty Clem on Torio. I wonder if there could be a little bit of DRS action here for the Alfa Romeo driver. Had a bit of a spin early on, so lost a few positions. And so far struggling to make it back as Delta Shadow also gets past FPS Tricks, who's in the pits at the moment. CRP Brummy jumps into the pits. Matty Clem now out of DRS range from Torio, so won't be able to activate that. And we've got a yellow flag. Did I see Trappy lose the place there? I think it was Trappy. Maybe a contact between Solo and Trappy, or Ash and Trappy. We didn't actually see it the one time we weren't on board with the front runners there. But he's dropped down into P4. It could have just been a general spin. Again, he's ran these soft tyres probably as far as I can go, and he should really think about boxing. I mean, lap 9 for hards could have done him on a one-stop. Lap 11 on mediums might have been a touch too far, but we'll see how he gets on. And we'll have a look down again now at Matty Clem. Is now within a second again, so I'm not too sure where Torio is going wrong here. But Matty Clem is able to keep up until sector 3. Let's see if we can get a move done on this lap. The only other driver who is currently within DRS range on the grid other than our front runners. Closely behind though, you have got Metal Saviour and Ollie, who any mistake they'll be within DRS, I would have thought, as Torio's just left the session, which means an extremely easy overtake for Matty Clem. I'm not sure what's just happened there. So watch this space for Torio. Their front runners now jump into the box. Adam, Ash and Trappy all on the same lap, potentially reacting to one another as Adam now jumps out. Jumps out into a little bit of traffic here. Got the Red Bull of Delta Shadow ahead of him. Delta Shadow's mediums as well will still be quite fresh, I believe. About 4 or 5 laps old maybe, so you know he could keep Delta Shadow behind for a little bit. Sorry, keep Adam behind for a little bit. Ash has come and served a 5-second penalty there, so he's 7 seconds behind. And HDL Trap is also maybe had some work done because he's quite far behind Ash now as well. Clemens, another driver, has also jumped into the pit, and so Hammer 94 is looking a little bit closer to Remy, and also Ollie and Metal Saviour here having a bit of a toe-to-toe. Metal Saviour there wearing the stars and stripes on that helmet. Absolutely loving representing his country here in the Williams. But unfortunately, he does just drop back a little bit there from the car in front. Yes, Tricks as well, within a second of HDL Trappy, who's just come out of the pit lane. Can Zach get a little bit of a toe here? Can he get a bit of DRS, maybe sneak some DRS and get ahead? Or challenge remains to be seen. It's very close though. We do see Adam now with the potential DRS possibility against Delta Shadow. And that wing is open. So although Delta Shadow may be able to hold up for a little bit, with the help of the drag reduction system, I'm sure Adam will make light work of Delta Shadow. No disrespect to Shadow whatsoever. He was running a fantastic race until he took the decision to box. Again, the long game might work for him. I'm not sure why we're looking at Adam's rear wing during an overtake, but he just missed the entirety of that overtake by looking at Adam's rear wing. But it was made, and Delta Shadow is now in P4. Bit of comfort though, with Ash being 8 seconds behind. Although Ash and Trappy are now about to have a bit of a slog. Although the Hammer 94 on Brummy as well could be a good one here. They're just about to enter the DRS activation point. ERS flashing on the Red Bull, and it should be an easy move for the Hammer 94. Down Shadow gets another 3-second time penalty. And that is the Hammer 94 making the move on CRP Brummy. Will there be a response? Don't think so. Looks like the Hammer 94 has pulled out a one. Oh no, sorry, he hasn't pulled out one single. Sorry, I'm being an absolute idiot. But he has pulled closer to Metal Saviour, and these two, or these three, could provide a bit of entertainment. Oh, and Metal Saviour either jumped off the track there by mistake or jumped off track there on purpose. I'm not too sure. I'd love to see him battle, but for some reason he didn't want to take that particular fight. But HDL Trappy and Ash, there'll be absolutely no chance of one of them letting the other one through here as they fight it around the one or two corners. As Shura has just DNF'd from the race. And we've got a safety car, so that saves Ash a bit of tyre wear. Ash on the hard tyre, Trappy on the medium tyre. So Ash is doing really quite a good job there to stay ahead. As Doubt Shadow finds his window to box. And let's have a look behind him here. He might have actually found a pretty decent window to box as he comes out, and I don't think he's lost position. Although the soft tyre, extremely risky at this stage. With those soft tyres, although... oh my lord. Although HDL Trappy made them go quite a distance, I'm not sure whether Delta Shadow's going to be able to do the same. We have the Hammer 94 and CRP Brummy also jumping into the pits here. Hammer taking off a set of mediums, but a set of softs on as well. A lot of drive suppose 8 laps that we're looking at here, 8 laps. It could do 8 laps, we could do 8 laps. The cars have got lower fuel now. But the Hammer 94 comes out ahead of CRP Brummy, who's opted for the medium tyre, which I think could potentially be a smarter choice in terms of out-and-out race pace over the next few laps. I suppose safety car being out for 2 to 3 laps, you are looking at maybe around 5 racing laps when it comes in. But still, you've got to get the car around the track behind the safety car, keep the tyres warm, so you are still going to lose a bit of tyre grip there. And actually leading the race at the moment is Solo. I didn't actually realise that happens. It's Solo now. And I'll tell you what, he must be absolutely gutted. Has he already pitted this lap at this race? Has he already pitted? He hasn't yet stopped. So in fact, no, he won't be gutted. That's actually played perfectly into his race strategy. He can jump on to potentially a set of softs now, like everybody else is doing. And yeah, worked out pretty well for him actually. Adam boxing as well. So actually, the leader of this race could be Ash. No, he couldn't because he's boxed as well. Who does anybody want to take the lead of this race? Anybody? The Solo could actually come out in the lead of this race still, having been the first to pit. That was Shadow. That was Shadow sneaking past. No, it is Solo. Solo will take the lead. Can That was Shadow get his foot down here and make up a few positions while people are coming out of the pit exit? It looks like he can. He squeezes himself into what looks like P4. Yep, squeezes himself into P4. Trappy got spam, I reckon, if he had damage. I don't believe he had damage. No, he was on his soft tyres for a long time though, so I think the reason why he was so far behind was because he spun on the soft tyres. Whether it was contact or not, I'm not too sure, to be fair. I think the reason why I was so far behind Ash is because of sorry, far behind Adam was because of that spin rather than a wing change. Okay, so grid settling then on the safety car. I've got 2 more cars in the pit, Matty Clem and Torio. Let's just take a look at this point. Our position changes then. So Solo currently up 4 places, leading the grid here. I'm sure he'd be surprised to be in that position, although I'm sure he backs himself. LSC behind, so LSC actually saved a pretty poor qualifying for his standards and not the greatest start to a race. He now saves that as he sits in P2. All of these drivers should be on fresh tyres. We'll check that in a moment. Adam in P3, Shadow in P4, Ash P5, Trappy P6, so a few drivers there losing positions. Zach up 8 spaces, Ollie up 3 spaces in P8. The Hammer 94 is slowly recovering from that early spin, although he hasn't got the look of the draw that LFC had. Brummy and Saviour are up positions as well. Matty Clem and Torrio are down positions. Let's have a look at everyone's tyre strategy. Here we go. So yeah, everyone on fresh tyres then. Yeah, some people opting to box under the first lap of the safety car, some opting to box under the second lap. I think the leaders all went in towards the same time there. So everyone on fresh tyres. Interesting to see Adams opted for the medium tyre. I wonder how that's going to leave him towards the end of this race, or towards the start of the safety car, whether he'll be able to keep up with the people around him. Trappy as well on the mediums rather than the soft tyre. Maybe feeling that he couldn't make the softs go as far as he first did. It's interesting actually. Might only have used sets of softs left, so maybe that's why he's on the mediums this time around. So yeah, a mixture really of tyre strategy. Metal Saviour, the only driver who's opted for the hard tyre here, and I would have thought the safety car will be in at the end of this lap, meaning we'll be restarting on lap 17 with 5 laps to race, as Torrio has just left the session. Let me see if I can get him a quick invite. Pretty sure I have Torrio. Got to admit, for his first race, he did pretty well after only 3 hours of practice. Definitely Torrio, definitely. And the good part is he didn't have, to my knowledge, he hasn't had any incidents with any other drivers today. So that's what we look for, really. DNFing is, you know, it's not fine, but in terms of us stewarding, DNFing is not an issue. You know, driving slowly is not an issue, but driving like an absolute CUNT is an issue. And luckily, he didn't do that from what I saw. It looks that way, Torrio. It looks that way. It's just a standard EA servers. Okay, who are we going to jump on board with here then? Who are we going to jump on board with? I think in middle of the pack somewhere. Or we can just do a... we can go on board his solo, watch it launch, and then slowly flick back, or quickly flick back to see the rest of the action. I think that might be what we go for this time around. There'll be more viewing than it would be speaking, because I'm sure I'm able to keep up with who is doing what. I think it's so satisfying watching cars under the safety car. Just me. When you get a nice good camera angle like this one. See everyone on similar racing lines. I have an eye for looking to rescue what has been a poor race for him so far. Just in P9, be letting down his teammate Ash for sure with that result. The safety car now is making its way towards the bus stop. Solo is slowing down the grid quite nicely, giving himself ample time to decide when he wants to restart this safety car. And actually, looks like he's got extremely early here. He's going to have to be very careful that he keeps this at a race pace. He's going to have to keep his foot down here. And I'll tell you what, he's timed that superbly. Look at the space he's gained there on that restart. Nearly a second taken out of LFC. Ollie gets a 3-second time penalty on the restart, but what a safety car restart that is from Solo. A lot of people decide to leave it late, and people sometimes anticipate that. Not Solo, taking no prisoners. He saw the safety car, hit the safety car line, and thought, foot down, let's have it. Great restart. He's giving himself a massive advantage here. 2 laps until DRS can be activated. And he's got some time to really pull away here. As Ash chases down Delta's Shadow. Usually 1 lap will make a difference on tyre degradation, but when you're wearing the soft tyres, it definitely does. And Ash and Delta Shadow are battling away again here, as we saw earlier on in this race. LFC has got a pretty good jump on Adam. I think everyone's been surprised by this safety car restart. Just keeping things nice and interesting. Our driver's nice and close as Ash takes... No, sorry, it's... That, oh, that Shadow must have had a little spin here, I think. And that is going to harm his race. Obviously going to harm his race at this stage, but that Shadow has just recovered really nicely. And there must have been some contact there between him and Ash, I would have thought. And that's going to potentially have ruined the race of Data Shadow, though he's still within the points. Yeah, it's going to be a lot harder him from here. Now Solo, after gaining 8/10 on that safety car restart within the same lap, is under pressure from LFC, who is 1/10 behind, and Adam as well, who is 3/10 behind. There's some movement towards the bottom again. I think Data Shadow has potentially had another issue here, as he's dropped down the grid again. There's really not been a good restart for him. We've got that same top 5, other than Data Shadow here, really getting on the throttle. Adam trying to make a move there on LFC. The LFC's attention has been taken away momentarily by his own move on Solo. So moves across to the outside. Adam trying to go down the inside of LFC. Can't make the inside of Solo. Again, some great moves being pulled here from our top 5 drivers. We've got another yellow flag. And that's Delta Shadow again. Let's take a look here. Ooh, virtual safety car. Delta Shadow's having an absolute nightmare. So a virtual safety car which just halts proceedings for a moment. A no front wing there as Delta. So that's going to be a pit lane entry for him. I'm hoping he doesn't go in there and retire the car. I'm hoping he finishes the race. We don't like to see people retiring in the pit lane, although you are allowed to do that. It'll be interesting to see how many people are going to pick up drive-through penalties here, because the drivers still seem to be at maximum capacity in terms of their throttle. They're not at maximum throttle, but they're definitely going as fast as they possibly can be under this virtual safety car. Second time this race, crash 7 seconds in a lap. Got kicked, let's go rip. Tario, absolute rip as we do start to go. Brummy with a drive through. He's the only one I've seen so far. That's going to be unfortunate for him there. Brummy in a nice position as well in P9. In a great position for Brummy in the opening race, but the fact that he's going to be serving that drive through is going to be an absolute pain for him. As we see our top 5 again. Solo still holding on to that top position. I'm sure Adam is itching to get past him the same way he got past LFC. He's now got DRS to help him as well. But Solo's put an absolute fantastic shift in here. And I think the mediums now are just going to start getting an improved performance level in comparison to the softs. 4 laps in, I think the medium's still going to be smooth sailing, and the softs may be a little bit harder to hold on to here. So I think Adam will potentially make this move a little bit easier. And HDL Trappy as well, as yeah, Dark Shadow does decide to retire in the pit, which it's fair enough. That was an absolutely horrible lap for him there. I think he got spun around twice within that same lap, and then lost his front wing. So it's never going to be a points finish for him, being so late in the race. So I don't blame him. I don't like to see it. But I don't blame him there for making that decision and calling his race early. So all things quiet at the moment. Brummy with a 3-second time penalty. He needs to get in and serve that drive through though. If anyone's listening to him, if anyone's speaking to him, tell him to get in and serve that drive through. He's only 2 spaces away from points, and you never know what could happen. Even if you serve a drive through, at least you're in the race. As we've just missed a move there. Trappy and Ash battling it out there. Again, the medium tyres, I think, becoming the stronger of the 2 compounds that are being used in the top half of the grid so far. As we might see a few medium tyres overtaking soft tyres. And Trappy now chasing down LSC, who is currently leading his rival from last season. LFC having a fantastic recovery drive. Well, Ash pushing hard on Trappy, just pulled out of a move there. His ERS is flashing as well, so he's obviously deployed everything. Got a DRS train here. Will Adam make a dive on Solo? He will. Will it stick? It will. And the LFC now looking to make a similar move. Adam just covering off Solo as we go downhill in what is actually a surprisingly tricky section of the track, but all these drivers handling it so professionally. And HDL Trappy having a look down the inside of LFC here. And really down the inside, LFC goes wide and allows Trappy through. As Trappy goes into P3 to chase down Solo. And LFC may be able to get an answer here. I'm not too sure. These top 5 drivers today have been absolutely unreal. I will throw Delta Shadow in there and say top 6 drivers. Unfortunate end to his race, but we'll say those top 6 drivers have been absolutely fantastic. As Ash 2 tenths behind LFC now. Looking for a potential move if he can, but I think this is going to finish with the 2 medium drivers on the top 2 steps of the podium, and then the soft drivers to absolutely slog it out. I think the performance of those medium tyres now is really coming a lot stronger than the softs. Let's see then. Now we've got Solo, who's going to have a free DRS on Adam. Adam won't be able to have DRS from the front of the grid. So let's see if he can make a move. He is right up the behind. And I'll tell you what, let's get on board of this battle. Actual 3-second time penalty. Solo making a nice move. He's chosen the outside of the next corner. He's got right past Adam. And what can Adam do as a reply here? Just tucks in behind. Realises that there's not that long to go, but he's in a great position to still capture the lead of this race. But he has been pushed back towards Trappy a little bit, so again, it could be a dangerous scenario for him going into the final lap. I think whoever does manage to make that overtake is going to stick that overtake for the rest of the session. Or Solo can hold on to it at the end of the race here. Pulled a bit of a gap now. 4 tenths. To say it is a bit of a gap, it really is a bit of a gap, but with how close these drivers are driving to one another, that gap does seem huge at the moment. These top 3, these podium sitters, what order are they going to finish in? Could there be a dive into the final lap that brings LFC or Ash back into the frame? Who knows, but at the moment these top 3 have been absolutely outstanding. Solo still clinging on to P1 at the minute, though Adam's making a dive down in the bus stop. Okay, now could Adam just be smart here? And you probably don't want to take the lead at this point, but you do want to get a good run and be as close as you possibly can here. We're going to jump on board, I think, with Trapper and watch his view of things, because he can see it all. We can see it all. Let's see then. What can Adam do? What can Trappy do? Can Solo hang on? He's had a fantastic run. Adam pulls towards the outside. And Adam does take the lead. Solo hanging in there. Trappy with contact. And does that bring LFC into play? Can LFC get past? He can. Can Ash get past? Oh, a bit of contact again there. It's getting very feisty on his final lap here. Trappy, I think, just pushing his car a little bit too hard. And Ash makes it through. It looked like there was a bit of contact there, but with the way that Trappy was driving on the edge, and he's actually just retired, I think, on track there, which if we just want to clip that for us, that is a penalty for retiring on the track, regardless of if it's the last lap or not. So that'll be a penalty going into his next race. So a bit of a shallow finish there as to what was fantastic racing. But Adam in P1, Solo in P2. That looks like it's going to be the finished article. Penalties are coming into play. We haven't looked at penalties for the entirety of this race, and there is a reason for that. Solo crosses the line, everything crosses the line, Ash crosses the line. FPS Tricks goes above Ash due to the penalty situation. The Hammer crosses the line in P6. What will Ollie do here? He can get across the line in P7. Matty Clem will steal that place though. Torio will steal the place as well. How many penalties has he got? Can Metal Savior steal the place? He can't, but he secures P10. And then Chris comes across the line in the final position. Unfortunately, it's not points for Chris, but it's still a fairly decent drive there for him to pick up P11 on that one. I think I'm speaking for everyone when I say that race was thoroughly entertaining there by what we call, I think, the top 6 for the majority of that race, which was Adam, Ash, Trappy, Solo, Delta, and LFC. Fantastic driving from those 6, as well as everybody else today. What is actually our first round, because it actually counts today. There are no bugs in Spa like there are in Australia. And let's have a look at our final grid then. So Adam clinching victory in round 1, getting himself 25 points on the board, nice and early. We then got Solo, LFC, FPS Tricks stealing a couple of positions there off Ash, or sorry, a position there off Ash. Ash in P5, but it does hold the fastest lap by, well, by a nose hair, it looks like. Him and LFC, although, no, sorry, not by a nose hair. No, by 3 attempts. No, I was right first one. 3 attempts. Still not far off. Jack in P6. Matty Clem moves up to P7 there. Torio in P8. Ollie in P9. He lost a few positions there at the end due to that 6-second penalty. Metal Savior in P10. CRP Brummy in P11. And then DNFing today had Trappy, Delta, Shura in his first league race, and Kizza very early on today. But I think all in all, I think that was an absolutely fantastic session, if I'm honest with you. A fantastic first round. The top 6 kept us thoroughly entertained. I apologise for anyone who was not included in that top 6 if you didn't get much screen time today. Yeah, that's unfortunate. GG Metal Saver there, picking up a point. It's absolutely fantastic result for you. Looking towards our next round then. So next week we will be heading to sunny Barcelona to take on the brand new layout there, fresh for F1 23. We're looking forward to that one. And then looking forward from there, we have Monaco in round 3. Round 4, we take a trip back to Canada before our first sprint race of the season at Silverstone. Our reverse grid sprints are back for this season due to people enjoying those races. So we're picking tracks that are probably a little bit better for overtaking. Other than Hungary, that's a pretty technical track. But yeah, Silverstone, USA, probably better for overtaking. A bit wider of a track, so hopefully those reverse grid sprints will look a lot better, a lot cleaner this time around. We've also moved them later in the calendar to ensure that we do have a proper reverse grid rather than having some of our fastest drivers at the top of the grid. P15 to P4, Zach, GG's, mate. A fantastic race there from yourself. Fantastic recovery drive as well. So yeah, there's not much more to say today, to be honest with you. It was a pretty good race. As always, we will get the VOD uploaded to YouTube. It will go live tomorrow at 2 p.m. GMT, if that's what we're on at the moment. I think we're on GMT. 2 p.m. GMT for people who want to have a watch back. And you, Zach, have a good night, buddy. Yeah, we'll go live on there. If anyone's watching and would like to get involved in the racing, then you can use the Discord link about to pop up in the chat. Hopefully, yeah, there we go. Get yourself involved, even if you just want to know what's going on, and get involved from an outside perspective. Again, rather than just racing, that would be fantastic as well. And other than that, I hope everyone's enjoyed today's race, today's cast, and we'll see you all in the next round in Barcelona next week.